Welcome everyone to the Garage After Dark. I'm not gonna mess around with any words or anything. Let's just hit that intro.
Well. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your April 20th, 2024 edition of The Garage After Dark, a special 420 edition. So
baby, 420.
Whatever you got to do on 420, have at it, my friends. I am the F1 expert. I'm Mr. Isaacs.
Now, was that a new video game system, the Xbox 420?
You know, I'm surprised they haven't done one of those yet. You know,
like a green edition.
Yeah, I put some green on it. Like I'm kind of surprised they haven't done that yet. It'll come at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, fine sir.
Yes. I'm, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Effin Dry, and a shout out to my good friend, Bad Take Cade. BTC all day, every day.
Bad Take Cade, indeed. I'm going to circle back to you in a second because I want to know if Cade has had a bad take this week that we need to address. But
I mean, there's a reason he has the name. So
before we do that, we're going to go ahead and introduce the triangular member of this threesome, the best threesome in the history of YouTube. You're never going to find another one like us.
Not at
We're
all.
the best. We are the absolute best threesome in the history of YouTube.com. Go ahead and introduce yourself, fine sir.
It's me. It's that EVP. And there's a little bit of breaking news that I want to bring up before we start talking about
Ooh, what's up?
But Broken Matt Hardy is back in TNA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting and unexpected.
Interesting.
Exactly. I thought he was going to WWE to be part of
Is there still room for gender?
I mean, it's Impact, I'm sure, or TNA.
Yeah, well, they signed Santana. They signed Matt Hardy. Like, is the roster getting kind of stuffy now?
I would think so.
I don't really watch TNA. So.
Yeah, I don't watch TNA either. That's a Liam question. He watches TNA all the time. I can't imagine.
Backstage I might know.
Yeah, if you got somebody back there, bring them in. Let's talk.
Hey, Alex.
Hey.
So Matt Hardy signed with TNA. Is their roster kind of stacked right now, or what's going on?
I think it's sort of in transition, to be honest. There's rumors that Tessa Blanchard is going back as well.
Yeah, I heard there.
They still have room for like some of Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, Jinder will be a TNA champion before the end of the year's out.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to see Jinder Mahal pin Josh Alexander and
Moose
Dolph
is champion.
Ziggler and all those guys.
Well, they'll bring in the Bollywood boys just to help them.
No, he's going to bring in the guys that were released with him, Veer Mahan and I don't know the other one's name.
Just to give you some perspective on TNA, TNA was absolutely massive in India, just like it was in Europe back in the day.
Well, they had that Ring Ka King show.
Yes.
Yeah, they were pretty big there for a while.
Yep.
But now their production is so horrible, I can't even watch like their weekly show. It's bad.
Now, it's kind of funny at nighttime when we get whispery Haney in the middle of the night. And he's like during the day when we talk to him on Magic, he's just like, but then we get like whispery Haney in the middle of the night here over in Scotland.
Well,
He's like,
it's different.
I was going to tell you to keep the noise down.
He's like,
was a tight sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a little bit of TNA. Yeah. I'm just picking on you, Haney. You're awesome.
That's all right. I'll get you back.
Was there anything else of note at the TNA show tonight that we should talk about before we move on to AEW? For any of you?
I don't know anything.
No, Moose retained his title over Nick Nemeth. Mustafa Ali retained his title.
He's the X Division champion, right?
Yes.
Ali. Okay.
He's what you call the whiny bitch champion. As soon as they take that belt off him, he's going to be a whiny bitch about it.
The whiny bitch champion.
Yes.
So like that would be a great championship to officially make.
The whiny bitch.
Whiny bitch champion of TNA.
Let's have the whiny bitch championship. That sounds like
you can you have a legit reason to bitch. You got the whiny bitch championship.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm all for people being overconfident in backing themselves, but the way that man goes on, as if it's as if he thinks he's the greatest wrestler of all time, you know, and he deserves to be. It's like, no, you just weren't that good, mate.
I wonder if it has something to do with the rumors that he was going to be the guy to win the title, and then got hurt, and then they stuck Kofi Kingston in instead. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think that was the rumor, wasn't it? You know, but there's many guys like that. I mean, there's many guys like that, whether it's worked out for the best or not. I mean, look at Samoa Joe. Twice they tried to put the belt on him, and they got a serious injury at the end of the run before the title. So
he was also supposed to win Money in the Bank until Brock came back.
Yep, Brock came back and stole that. Yep.
Was that the one he won the Brock case? The
Yes.
Brock party?
Yeah, it's when he had the Brock party gimmick.
Yeah, which didn't make any sense because it was Brock Lesnar, and if he wanted a title match, you'd have given him one. So Money in the Bank. It was just.
He came out like he was Run DMC in 1987.
I gotta say that was really entertaining with him.
All he needed was the Adidas on and the big ass gold chain. That would have been so cool.
I would have laughed. I would have seen him come out in like a tracksuit.
The bucket hat. Yeah.
Yep. He would have made bucket hats cool before Hager did.
Speaking of Brock Lesnar, he's apparently officially not gone. He's just on hiatus.
He's back on the website.
Interesting. So they kind of just waited for the smoke to clear a little bit, and then he's going to end up coming back at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Official allegations against him, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And even so, TKO, the parent company, Endeavor, don't care.
Well, and plus, too, I mean, what he allegedly did or was involved in was obviously a shitty thing, but again, like Canada Dry said, it was nothing criminal or, like he was just kind of like a tertiary player here. He wasn't the main culprit.
Yeah.
I mean, wrestling fans are quite forgiving as well. You know, I mean, it was look at Chris Benoit. Oh, it was just a little blip that he murdered his wife and his kids. You know,
I don't understand these people.
I don't get that.
Chris Benoit and think that his wrestling career should be separate from what he did.
Dude, there is a Facebook group, and it pops up for me as a suggested group sometimes. That says something like Chris Benoit was framed, and it has like 6,000 people in it or something. I'm like, who are these idiots that think that somebody framed Chris Benoit?
Have you seen the what was it, the Sullivan what was it, conspiracies around
Yeah.
Crispin Walk stuff?
I've seen the Kevin Sullivan conspiracies. Yeah.
It's just
So
nuts.
someone go ahead and explain the Sullivan.
You would probably do it better. It was Mr. Isaacs. I'm half asleep.
Yeah. So basically, Kevin Sullivan obviously was the ex-husband of a woman, Nancy, and it was always said that Kevin Sullivan and Chris Benoit kind of had a little heat because of that. But they did work together after that. So the rumor is, and again, this is totally ridiculous, but
let's replace the word rumor with conspiracy.
yeah. Well, the conspiracy is, and this is absolutely ludicrous, is that since Kevin Sullivan basically played a Satanist character back in the 80s, that he legitimately worships the devil, and according to the conspiracy, is the one who went in and murdered all three of them that night and was never caught. That's the conspiracy. Complete stupid horseshit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, absolutely zero
to
evidence.
Keep, Chris Benoit's legacy alive.
Yeah, it's just like
your
look,
legacy ends with what you did as a person and what your final act can be. So his final act was horrific.
and I hated it. I mean, Benoit, aside from Bret Hart during that time period, was my favorite wrestler.
Yeah,
like 100%. I don't claim him anymore.
No.
Now, I never liked Chris Benoit.
Really?
I never liked him. Something to me seemed off about him.
Yeah.
He seemed like a very dick character, and so wasn't. Even when he was a face, he seemed like a dick.
Yeah.
So he wasn't attractive to me.
He wasn't a likable. He didn't come across as likable ever. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's probably all the chair shots he took. Like they did, like they said he had the brain of like an 80-year-old.
Yeah.
At the end there from wrestling and everything else. So there's probably a reason why he was an asshole.
Well, they theorized that it was due to the flying headbutt he always did.
I imagine that contributed to it a lot.
Yeah.
There's parallels with him and Aaron Hernandez, which is, if you've never seen that documentary, it's an absolutely fascinating documentary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. A lot of these guys get head injuries, and it's just like we kind of just in the past decade or so really learned about some of the stuff. It wasn't even really known.
I guarantee you, he suffered from CTE.
Oh,
thanks for dropping in to say hi, Shane.
What's up, Shane? Shout out to you. And I even heard a quote that Harley Race, who is the guy who apparently invented the flying headbutt, said that he regretted inventing it because of this. And because of these kind of issues.
Hey, Chris Benoit, how many times a year did he have to do that move?
He did it every match. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
320 days a year.
Mm-hmm. Like, he literally did it every. It was one of his signature moves. He did it every match. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's horrific, man. When I see these younger guys just like flinging themselves into furniture and shit, I'm just like, guys, let's chill out a little bit. We've had some bad results from that in the past couple of decades. But
that's why I can't watch Darby Allin, because I don't want to watch somebody die in the ring. But he seems quite content to.
Poor Darby, man.
So whatever he's happy with, that sort of.
Yeah, those skateboarders, they're just a little bit more reckless than the rest of us.
Yeah.
You see all these videos, all these like videos on YouTube of like the skateboarders going down the concrete stairs, and then they just fall and their head bounces off the stairs. Yeah, pretty brutal stuff, guys. Pretty brutal. But at least he's not going to go up and risk death on Mount Everest anytime soon. At least until he heals up. Yeah, I'm sure he will at some point.
Speaking of which, did you see the latest picture of Darby?
No.
He busted his nose somehow. Like he took a picture, his nose is all jacked up.
Good God. The guy just can't he can't just stay still.
He's what, late 20s, early 30s, I think?
Yeah.
Is he even that old? I thought he was like 25 or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, he's been around for a few years now, so I guess.
I mean, it is hard. I mean, I've spoken to people that did that altitude training and things like that. I don't know, Joe, did you ever do any altitude training when you were?
No, I never did any of that stuff in the military.
Yeah.
The most thing I did was like rappel down walls and simulate fast roping out of a helicopter.
Yeah.
Just, everyday stuff.
But this is a true story. My former boss, is ex-paratrooper.
Mm.
And what was it called? I was at the sort of start of that was at my career in IT, and he was progressing up the ladder, but he hit that sort of ceiling, and nobody could understood why. It turned out after he left the paratrooper, he had a fear of flying because he'd always jumped out of a plane with a parachute. He'd never landed. True story. What was it called? And eventually, it was his. It's quite funny. He went to visit his old what was it, a sort of paratroop regiment, and they dragged him onto a plane, and that's how he got over it. They literally just strapped him down and held him down till they landed.
Oh my god!
They realized
desensitization by force.
Those military folks, they don't mess around.
They don't mess around, no. But it did him world of good because he went to be quite high in the sort of company, So
yeah,
it was sort of holding him back, and they obviously, as good friends, decided to help him out a little bit.
Did you ever? Maybe this is more of a question for Joe, but like, have you all ever like heard or read anything about the BUDS training and from Navy SEALs?
Yeah, I know about it. I never.
Oh my god,
I never dreamed of doing it, but yes,
I've read. I read the book American Sniper.
Chris Kyle.
Yeah, from Chris Kyle, who's of course deceased and had that thing with Jesse Ventura and everything. But he has a fantastic book out that they based the movie off of, and yeah, he goes into detail about it. And my god, that is the most grueling shit. Like I just can't even imagine a human being going through that.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. But yeah, you got to be like a really extremely mentally tough human being to go through something like that.
Yeah, that's what BUDS training is. It's 90% mental, 10% physical.
Yeah. Haney, you got anything else for us, my friend?
No, I'm going to jump off. I've not seen Collision yet, so I'll probably jump off the podcast. But
go get some sleep.
Yeah, get some sleep, my man.
It's that time of year where there's all the little, the birds and the foxes and all that are outside making noises. So
gotcha.
Are you going to be watching Dynasty tomorrow night?
It'll probably be Monday evening.
All right.
Because I've got to go into the office on Monday, unfortunately. So I've usually
work's making you miss Dynasty. How rude!
No,
I know it's terrible. It's terrible.
Bastards.
I'm going to have a word with them. Yeah.
Hey, okay. Real quick before you go, Haney, I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw a video and the caption was "the best ref bump ever," and it's a match with Roddy Piper in it, and Piper hits the ref with his right hand, and the ref bounces off of each rope.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. Yeah. All right, Haney. Have a good night, my man.
Have a good night.
See you later.
See you.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and jump right into the show.
That was nice of Haney to drop in, and we got Whispery Haney. That's nice.
Get Whispery Haney. Yeah, it's a different beast altogether.
I was like,
it's another freaking character. I swear, it's not the same guy.
I'm used to like power talking, angry Haney, like all through Magic. And then later at night, he's back and he's, I'm a golf announcer, Haney, and I think, yeah, that was a very good match, guys. Get a little soft off that. All right, let's go ahead and get into Collision, guys, and just a little editorial note here. I am not taking my own notes on this shit because it was like 3 hours long and I just wanted to enjoy the show. So I'm using Bleacher Report notes here.
That's fine. It's absolutely fine. We can rip through these.
how many different ways can you take notes on tag team matches?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You know what? You should send this to JFB. Like, why the hell take your own notes when you can?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of got to thinking about it, and I was like, why am I doing this? Like every wrestling website on the planet does live results of every wrestling show. So like, I feel like that's futile. Like, why am I doing this? But anyways, going into match number 1 here, we started out with a trios match. Adam Copeland, Mark Briscoe, and our pal Eddie Kingston against Top Flight in Action and Andretti. Now, my thoughts on this one. This match was way too competitive. Like, I don't know why Top Flight and Andretti were like hanging in there with these guys the whole time, but I guess what they were trying to do was just kind of show the synergy between the babyface trio here. Which I guess Top Flight are faces too, but
I was like, which one are you talking about?
But at no point did we think that Copeland, Briscoe, or Kingston was going to lose, but this was a super long, drawn-out match here.
17 minutes.
Yeah, that kind of confused me a little bit. It was a good match, but I think it went way too long. That's my opinion. Canada Dry, what'd you think of this match?
I think it was way too long as well. I found it just like, it felt like, oh, we're in for a long night with this kind of. It's not a hot start like Dynamite does.
Yeah,
it's just like not a good way to start the show. I did find it was a good match, but you could have done this in 10 minutes.
Yeah. EVP Joe, what do you say?
I don't really know if it was too long. I think my problem is late, and I just made light of it, is on a night full of tags and trios matches, it just, I don't know. I wasn't enthused by seeing a bunch of tag, because you can only structure tag and trios matches but so many ways.
Yeah,
I think like the reason they're doing this though is to feature performers without having them go one-on-one against each other.
I mean, yeah, but here, like I said, I told you before, this felt like a show tonight that they just had to have due to contractual obligations.
We just got to throw everybody out there, and we got to do something, guys. Let's put a bunch of clusterfuck trios matches out there.
Yeah, it felt like, I'll be honest, the show felt a lot of it felt like it was the buy-in to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, this was okay, but it just solid match. It just went on too damn long for me.
Fine wrestling, nothing. Just
the other thing I'll criticize it for was you could have had a Swerve and Swerve and Samoa Joe moment on this show too.
Yeah,
it's the night before. I mean, the world
I
title.
don't know. I think the way it ended was on Wednesday was.
Well, it was, yes, but I'm saying is that it's weird to the night before the pay-per-view that the world title isn't even talked about.
I still even have to go back and finish Dynamite. Watch the whole thing. I had something else going on around that time, so I got to go back and finish it.
Did you have a date?
No comment.
Oh,
that's a yes. Look, just honestly, go back to Dynamite and just watch the 3 segments with Joe and Swerve.
Okay. I watched about an hour of it earlier, but I got to go back and finish the rest of it.
So have you seen the sit down with Swerve and Joe yet? I don't remember if that was in the first. So yeah.
And then the end of the show.
Yep, the 2 interviews and the end of the show.
Calls them out.
Yeah, that sounds like that's gonna be good. I'm gonna like that. Yes. I'm gonna try to watch that tomorrow. But moving on here, we've got I'm not gonna make fun of this guy because apparently Rich is friends with this guy. But we've got CJ Aspara against Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, poor
you
Aspara,
were making fun of him in the chat, though.
Well, he looked like a middle school kid against Powerhouse Hobbs. I was like, oh, this is not a great look. But I mean, I guess if you want to make Hobbs look like a monster and just come out and squish a small guy, I mean, it was fine for that. He squashed him and put him in the torture rack, made him submit. But I did see in the chat later in our group chat that apparently Rich knows this guy and is friends with him. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. There's not really much to this, but EVP Joe, do you have any thoughts on the Powerhouse Hobbs squash?
I don't care. I'm overseeing squash matches for if I am meant to take him as a serious competitor for Moxley in the IWGP title and the Callis family as a whole as a threat, I need to see more out of him than just a stupid squash match.
Right.
It can be a squash, but they should have used maybe someone from ROH and put on a 2-minute match.
Now, guys, we have to call it a squish. Shout out to Dallas.
Squish.
Squish.
If nothing else, as a tribute to our pal Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah, because he doesn't like to be called squish. So,
Can't F and Dry, do you have any other thoughts on this before we move forward?
no, let's move on.
Yeah, not really much to this. We've got the Acclaimed versus the Guns. Now, it was kind of interesting at the start of this. Tony Schiavone getting his authoritative voice on, getting on the microphone and channeling Tony Khan. I kind of like how they do this sometimes. They have Tony Schiavone be like the voice of Tony Khan. He's like, you said the bitches better get in there and wrestle. You ain't wrestling tomorrow night. I'm paraphrasing here. Schiavone obviously
I'd love to hear the laptop messenger come off. Hold on, I've got a message from Tony Khan.
Yeah, they need the podium. Yeah. But yeah, this, in my opinion, was a pretty damn solid match. I liked it. It was a good back and forth, a lot of good action here. Again, all these matches are just kind of a preview of what you're going to see tomorrow night. Obviously the heels cheat and get the win here, but I thought this was pretty solid. EVP Joe, what did you think of this match?
Yeah, it was a good match. I liked it. Kind of makes me scared for the outcome tomorrow night, but
yeah,
I mean, I can't complain. It was a good match. I mean, I hate to say it, but the Guns have actually kind of grown on me, which is kind of weird to say. Maybe it's because they're not the focus of the tag division anymore.
Eddie Kingston's going to be next.
No, I doubt that.
On you next.
John Moxley, you'll be a big
John
fan of
Moxley.
I'm already a fan of Moxley.
Oh, yeah, he likes Moxley. Yeah.
Rich doesn't like Moxley, right?
Yeah. It's I'm the only one who does like Moxley.
Moxley's okay. I'm a little mid about him. Yeah. The Canada Dry, what do you think of this tag match?
I enjoyed it. I thought that the definitely Acclaim was going to win.
Yeah.
Kind of shocked me. But we'll talk about this tomorrow on the prediction show, but I really don't want any more Acclaimed with the gold. I'm so sick of the Acclaimed.
I'm right there.
Yeah. I agree. I think their
novelty is.
Yeah.
Remember when everyone was going Scissor Me Daddy? No one's doing that anymore.
It's gotten stale, and to be honest with you, the Acclaim guys, the way they carry themselves on social media and stuff, they just don't seem that likable anymore. In my opinion.
No one likes the Acclaim.
Yeah, they're stale, and they just don't make themselves look very good anymore. I don't want to see them retain either, but it does kind of, with the heels winning tonight, I think they're probably going to.
But if anyone can pull off a double cheat, it's Jay White.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Obviously, that's going to be for
what's going to happen? I'm
that?
calling it right now. Juice is going to come back and help them win the gold.
I was just thinking that.
I was thinking tonight, I was like, where the hell is Juice Robinson? I mean, is he still hurt? I mean, he's been gone for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, he's been out injured.
Yeah.
He gets injured pretty bad.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll come back soon. I want to see the heels win that, but who knows? We'll see. We've now got the bunkhouse brawl. Now, I'm gonna go into my little spiel here about how every time AEW has a no DQ match, they have like a revolving door of names that they always call it. Like it'll be a Texas death match, and it'll be a this match and a that match and a street fight, and it's the same damn match, but they give it a different name every time.
That's
So
what
now they give
WWE
it
does
the,
too. No
the old
holds
school,
barred.
yeah, the old school bunkhouse brawl, which that's all good. Brian Danielson and Claudio against Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita, and I personally thought this was a really, really fun match. It was violent. It was brutal. It was all over the place. Brian Danielson, looked like an absolute madman in this match. Like it looked like a disheveled madman with his hair all straightened out and frizzed, and then the jeans on and everything.
So
Um,
our friend Miss Dollywood, she put a side by side comparison on our Facebook page of Danielson and Nick Cage,
yeah,
like with the same hair. She's like, who wore it better?
I saw that. That was funny. But yeah, I mean, this was a very hard hitting match. Danielson was busted open and bloody. I don't know if it was hard way or he, gigged. I don't know. I would assume he probably gigged.
I don't know. He got hit in the head with that steel chair. May have been hard way.
It was a bit. Well, it wasn't a bit. It was very risky of him to work a match like this the night before a pay per view, which he even referenced in the post match promo. But I thought this was great, though. This was really fun. I enjoyed this quite a bit. Canada Dry, what'd you think of this match?
Oh, I found this the most engaging match of the night. Claudio even looked really good in this. Kyle Fletcher looked good. Takeshita looked good. This was fun. Like, I'm gonna give this one. I'm just gonna give this 5 stars. I enjoyed it that much.
All right, EVP Joe, what are your thoughts?
I appreciate Danielson and Claudio dressing for the occasion in what would be a bunkhouse brawl, as opposed to Takeshita, who came out in his silk pajamas.
Looking like a Tekken villain.
Yeah, basically. I love this match. It was fun. They brawled around there's one thing I appreciate about AEW is when they say it's this kind of match, they actually deliver on. Like they use the stipulation, they'll go around the arena. It's not, let's stay ringside and then we'll get back into the ring.
It makes it more exciting for sure.
Yeah.
Now, we had an announcement earlier in the show that it'll be Hobbs versus Moxley for the IWGP Championship on Dynamite this Wednesday.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we glossed over that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he waited 6 years to call in a favor with New Japan, and that's it.
So
I need that favor now.
It's like, is this Japan? Give Willie Hobbs a title shot.
Sure thing.
So we all know that Powerhouse Hobbs is going to win the IWGP title, right?
Yeah, it's
absolutely
crystal clear who's going to win this. Yeah.
But before we move on, I just want to say I absolutely love that post match promo from Danielson. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Sitting there talking about my heaven is dying in the ring, and I want to come back and just bleed for you guys.
It was pretty intense. Yeah. I mean, Danielson has the most realistic I love wrestling promo of like anybody. Because like when he gives a promo about how much he loves wrestling, you really, really feel it and believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It never seems put on like it might with some other folks. It always seems genuine.
I mean, it helps that he fought for how long to come back to wrestling.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it was like kicking and screaming, wanting to come back. He didn't want to just sit home and make money. Like he wanted to come contribute, and props to him for that.
We also got that Jericho promo. Is that later, or we already covered that?
Jericho promo.
Yeah, there's a Jericho promo. Or is this Rampage?
I don't remember seeing Jericho tonight.
Jericho
You
did
see
a
him,
promo
Joe?
on
Unless it was like that they were recapping what he did with Hook and Taz. I think they did do that.
No,
didn't
they had a Jericho promo where he was like, "I'm going to put you under the learning tree. I'm going to take that FTW title away from you, and I'm going to teach you what it's going to be like." And it's pretty much a teaching moment for him. It's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you.
It must have been when I went to the bathroom or something.
Yes, I do not remember that at all.
But yeah, he is wrestling.
It was really good. It was a really good Jericho promo, actually.
He's wrestling Hook for the FTW Championship, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
At Dynasty. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, moving on here. We got Sky Blue versus Layla Hirsch. Sky Blue's got great assets in the ring, like usual. Layla Hirsch, she looks pretty good. I mean, she's got some good skill, and but nobody thought she was going to win this. I made the joke in the chat of who's Sky Blue going to wrestle? Is it going to be Sally the seamstress? Because it's always like here's random person who's been in Ring of Honor for the past 2 years, and they're showing up for the first time in many, many, many months, and they're obviously not going to win. But the match was what it was. It was all right. And Canada Dry's going with what really grinds his gears here. Is that for my little statement here, or is this you transitioning to something?
I got something to say.
Let's do it. Canada F and Dry, the floor is yours, my friend. What's up?
What really grinds my gears? Layla Hirsch, you're from New Jersey, not Moscow, Russia. You're wearing a freaking Russian flag on your gear.
Is she pretending to be Russian? Is she a faux Russian?
She was born in Russia, adopted by people, and raised in America. And at this time, you don't wear the Russian flag on your gear.
Yeah,
it's a questionable call.
It's questionable. Now, my friend, our friend of the show, Natalia Markova, she now hails from Florida. She's not the Russian Crush anymore. She's just the Crush. She's going the other way.
Yeah. That's probably the right move.
Yeah.
Get away from the Russian and move towards the American.
Stay away from the Russian shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Nikolai Volkov isn't winning any polls right now.
No, not at all.
I didn't know any of that about Layla Hirsch. I knew that she came out with the Russian flag and everything. I thought she was just from Russia. I didn't know she was actually born, or she was actually raised in New Jersey. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting tidbit there. Do you have any thoughts on the match?
It was an entertaining match. It was a quick match. I like the little on purpose botch.
Was it on purpose?
I think it was because they needed a reason for her to lose, having that mistake. It was too fluid after the botch afterwards. I think it was on purpose. She slipped because of her knee. Yeah, I think it was on purpose. I like that little reason why she didn't go over.
We're gonna have to get the forensic analysis here of the tape and study it like this is a Zapruder film and try to figure out the true intent. EVP Joe, what do you think of this match?
It was a fine match. I really liked the ending, the TKO into the Dragon Sleeper. I like that. That's a pretty cool, innovative way to finish a match, and I like it more than. I mean, her Code Blue is good, but only she has someone who will sell it, right?
Right.
So I like having plus I like having submission finishers. I think submissions are cool.
Yeah. Being a jiu-jitsu guy now, I love submissions. Yeah.
Dragon Sleeper just looks like it hurts. So
yeah. Yeah, I kind of bend you back where, you're not supposed to go. Looks pretty painful. It does. All right, moving on. The next match we got, this is it's actually the main event of Collision. The Elite, which of course is the Bucks and Kazuchika Okada against FTR and Pac. I thought this was a very good match. I like this a lot. Very, very solid match. Great action back and forth. Good synergy with all the guys on both teams. Good psychology here. You really feel that the the Bucks and FTR. Like you felt the emotion in this match. I thought this was very good, and I was very pleasantly surprised because I thought it was just kind of going to be, a nothing burger. I thought it was just going to be like a quick screw over or something
Remind me
like
who
that.
won? Who won?
Pac won with the
right.
arrow.
Yeah, Pac hit the Falcon Arrow for the win. So I mean, this was a very good match. I liked it quite a bit.
The Falcon Arrow hit the Black Arrow.
Well, yeah.
They're two totally Falcon Arrow is totally different from what Pac did. So,
which one's the Falcon Arrow? I thought that's what he used to call it in WWE.
There's the red arrow.
In WWE, he called it the red arrow.
Gotcha.
The Falcon Arrow is the one to suplex into the.
Oh, okay.
Into the slam.
I gotcha. EVP Joe, what do you think of the match?
I really enjoyed this match. Hitting all the spots, lots of running. There was just no downtime, which was nice because 2 hours into a 3-hour show, I was dragging. So this definitely got my energy back up and going.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly surprised that Pac got the win.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm surprised by that. Canada effing dry. Wax poetic.
I wasn't surprised that Pac got the win because it makes the most sense. Because you need believability that he's going to beat Okada. And you need believability that the Bucks are going to lose to FTR. So to me, it makes the most sense that it's Pac getting the win. I did enjoy this match. I felt it was a tad too long as well. You could have fit if you shortened those two trios matches, you could have had a good singles match.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get that point. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I could see it. It was a little long. This was a very tag heavy Collision for sure. But that was the main event of Collision, and we have another hour to review. And it is Rampage. Now, I was kind of out of the loop here. Why didn't Rampage air last night? What was on TNT last night? Was there some sporting event or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't. I was like, why is Rampage on Saturday this week? Like, what? What were they airing last night? I don't know, but
I'm not sure.
It could have been the NBA
playoffs starting.
Hmm?
Yeah, it might have been the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, I think the NBA
they had all the play-in games and all that, so it may have been.
And you got the NHL playoffs starting tonight. So
yeah,
but TNT doesn't do.
Now TNT does NBA. I don't think they do NHL.
I think they do actually.
Do they?
Yeah.
The playoffs.
They got Wayne Gretzky under contract.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if it's on TBS or if it's on TNT though.
Hell if I know. For some reason, Rampage was on the night, so we're talking about it at almost midnight. So that's all it matters.
Crying in the mud, Bobby.
So we've got the first match of Rampage, the high flying 420 elimination 4-way, which I thought it was very funny that they put a weed inspired match with Rob Van Dam.
I thought that was
great. So we've got Rob Van Dam versus Lee Johnson versus Isaiah Cassidy versus Commander. Really, really random ass match, but it was fun. I mean, these guys were jumping around all over the place, and I'm sorry, but anytime that RVD comes out, period, but especially when he comes out to Walk by Pantera, because it just screams old school ECW when he really used that theme there too. So it's just kind of a nostalgia moment. RVD is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I make no bones about it. And it was fun. RVD ends up getting the victory in a fun little match. And F and Dry, what did you think of the 420 elimination match?
Yeah, I thought it was really entertaining. You knew Rob Van Dam was winning. There was no doubt. I thought it was entertaining as hell. It was definitely a fun match. And I'm just surprised he just didn't start smoking one.
That would have been great if he just pulled out a doobie from his trunks and just
or even an edible would have been funny.
I would have loved to have seen him share it with Commander after the match.
I was gonna say share it with Shivani.
Or Shivani, yeah.
That'd be even better. That would have made Rampage a huge ratings hit.
Yeah, I got a brownie. You want some of this brownie? Yeah, you don't have to say it's a weed brownie. You want some of this brownie?
And then Shivani just fucks up commentary the rest of the night.
Yeah, you just the implication. You don't have to say it's a weed brownie.
That honestly, like back in the day, that would have been something like Vince Russo would have wrote. Like giving a pot brownie to the announcer, and then they just like slur their words the rest of the night and then fall out of their chair or something. Like that would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Think some of that stuff that Russo came up with was pretty good.
Some of it was. I mean, some of it was. Yeah. I mentioned that in a good way. Like I think it would have been funny. But yeah, RVD gets the win. Moving on here, we got Yuka Sakazaki versus Emi Sakura. And I'm going to be honest, my attention kind of like floated away during this match. What I saw of it was all right. I mean, it was solid. Yuka Sakazaki ends up getting the win. EVP Joe, what did you think of this match?
Man, Yuka took a nasty bump in the middle of this match. Like, I don't know what happened, but like she was on the top rope and then went flying off to the outside.
Well, let me just mention this here. According to the Bleacher Report results that I have up here, it says, unfortunately, Sakazaki took a nasty spill outside the ring and the ref made Sakura back off so she could recover. She walked around the ring trying to get her bearings back and Sakura started chasing her. So they said it was an awkward couple of minutes here where she apparently took a really bad bump to the outside.
Yeah, like Emi Sakura's out there like shaking the Woo energy drink.
No, that's what that was about.
And she's like, they have the action figure. She's like taunting fans, throwing it away. At one point, Bryce Remsburg sits there and grabs two of the cans from Emmy and just slams them on the ground. He's like, get back in the ring.
I bet Ric Flair's pissed off somewhere watching that.
Woo!
Probably doesn't even pay attention anymore. Sting's not there anymore, so he don't care.
Well, he gets so super offended by everything now. He'll probably have a long Facebook post about it tomorrow.
Have you guys seen the Woo energy anywhere?
No.
Like, I'd love to have a can just to stick on my shelf here.
I mean, I haven't looked for it either.
I haven't sought it out. I don't think they sell it anywhere around here, but next time I go to like a Speedway or something, I'll take a look and see if I can find it.
Ask the gas station attendant, you guys got any Woo energy?
I'll just go and be like, hey man, I'm looking for an energy drink. It's called Woo. You say it just like that.
Yeah.
And they'll look at me like I'm insane. We got a mental patient in here. He's wearing a Kangol hat. I think we need to have him removed. But
I'm trying to get some Woo for Canada Dry. What?
EVP Joe, what were your thoughts on the match as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, after that, like the finish was different. They did like a German suplex off the ropes, sort of like a little snap one. It was fine. Like it was good for what it was. It's another women's match, so I'm never going to complain about that.
Right.
So
the only time I ever see Emi Sakura is once in a while on Rampage.
Yeah.
That's like the only time she shows up. Once every few months, she's on Rampage. But Sakazaki gets the win here. Moving on, we've got Kyle O'Reilly, Rocky Romero. And
I'm fine not commenting on this, by the way.
Oh, didn't you comment on the match?
That's fine. That's fine.
No. Go ahead. What'd you have to say about it?
I really don't. I'm so sick of Emi Sakura. Like I don't find her entertaining at all. Like Yuka Sakizawa, I enjoy her antics. Yeah. But Emi Sakura, like she's almost like a Japanese Jericho.
Every time I see her, I know she doesn't do this anymore, but I think about the stupid Freddie Mercury cosplay shit that she did when she first came in. Mm-hmm. And like I remember watching and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what? This is so weird. And they never did even really explain it or anything.
Yeah, she do that a lot on Dark.
She came out with a mic stand and wearing a mustache.
Yeah,
like the yellow outfit.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand this. I mean,
but yeah, I don't like her. I don't find her entertaining at all.
Yeah. At least when Nakamura did the Michael Jackson thing, people kind of sort of knew what it meant. But anyways, yeah.
It's also difficult when you have a Japanese woman playing an Indian man. Like,
It's very strange. Yeah. Very, very strange for sure. We got the main event. It was a trios match of Rampage, Kyle O'Reilly, Rocky Romero, and Daddy Magic versus the Undisputed Kingdom. I'm gonna be honest, guys. My brain was totally wiped by this point, but I did watch this match, and it was pretty good. I mean, I like the back and forth between O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. I think they're going to have a fantastic match tomorrow night. They've got a lot of good chemistry together, a lot of good technical wrestling back and forth between those two. I've always loved how Kyle O'Reilly does like the jiu-jitsu kind of submissions. I really appreciate that. It was a fun match. But like I said, my brain kind of lost energy here. I don't really have much more to say about it other than that. Canada Dry, since I missed you last time, I'll start with you. What do you think of the main event of Rampage?
I think it just did its job.
Yeah.
It's to set up that match, that dynasty between Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, to really believe that Roderick Strong is going to lose that to Kyle O'Reilly. To see the fear on his face as he's walking up the ramp, as Kyle O'Reilly's like telling him that you got 24 hours, buddy. That belt's coming home. You believe that that there's a real good possibility.
Yeah.
That Kyle O'Reilly could legit beat Roderick Strong. So I find that the match did its job. That's all it was there to do.
Yep. EVP Joe wax poetic about the main event of Rampage.
I can't. I don't have anything to say. I'm with you, man. I was out of it. Like it's been a long day, and there's a reason why I don't like watching Raw. 3 hours of wrestling is.
You want to talk about this instead?
No.
You can have anything. I don't even have anything to add to that. It's just it speaks for itself.
Yes.
Thanks, Canada Dry. You make me want a damn chocolate chip cookie now.
This really grinds my gears. You have Cookie Monster on Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching the kids bad manners. Me want cookie. Like, what kind of attitude is that? Me want cookie. Me want like.
Maybe it's
that's not even eating politely, just like you want to be like Cookie Monster, right? Have a bad manners.
Well, see, maybe that's why they made him a monster, because the implication here is that a monster does things that are bad, right? So when you go up and you just take somebody's cookies off the plate and you're just spitting crumbs everywhere, it's not good etiquette. So maybe it was used as a teachable moment.
But he was so lovable.
He was lovable, yeah.
That's the thing. You got to make him a dick.
My favorite.
Another bone to pick with Sesame Street.
Okay, hold on. We got to grind my gears with GM Joe.
All right,
So,
GM Joe.
Sesame Street recently introduced a new character that is homeless. Like Oscar the Grouch hasn't lived in a trash can for 7 years. Come on now. Oscar's like, no wonder Oscar's so grouchy. Y'all don't even recognize the man's homeless.
This new Muppet comes out like, he lives in a garbage can, but I used to have a $200,000 home before the mortgage crisis.
So is this homeless character? Is he drug addicted as well?
I have no idea.
Is he looking for some heroin, some fentanyl?
What if he had like track marks on his arm?
Trying to normalize use, right?
He walks around like this all day.
Doing a nod.
He's got like the white lines under his nose, like when Dave Chappelle came in. Is this the 5 o'clock free crack giveaway?
Bert and Ernie invite him over for dinner to give him a hot meal, and he steals all their shit.
I am so happy that we ended our super serious Rampage discussion with the discussion of Muppets doing blow. That is astounding to me, fellas.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it. And I'm
Yeah.
giddy and I'm half asleep and it works. So kudos to you for that.
We got to do the flower shop where we're going to do our ratings and all that. But what should we do? Should we do video games? Should we do movies? Should we do I know your favorite superhero.
Okay.
Your favorite superhero.
Okay. I will start with we'll start with EVP Joe. Match of the night. I don't guess we'll do segment of the night. There wasn't really any segments.
There was the segment of the marriage. Oh, not the marriage, the pregnancy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Willow cut a pretty weird promo too. But
yeah, the FU promo.
the FU
fired up.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot about that until you just mentioned it.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, match of the night. I'm giving it to the bunkhouse brawl. Probably the best thing in the 3 hours of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, no real segment. I'm giving this like 2.75. Like, it just felt like a show to be here, honestly. And my favorite superhero, I mean, is it any surprise? It's Captain America.
Of course.
America.
When you get a good old-fashioned American soldier, you know he's going to say Captain America. Captain America or Superman.
Captain America used drugs, right?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, he was a druggie.
The super soldier formula.
I mean, let's be honest. What superheroes didn't? The Hulk used gamma rays, and who knows what else?
Right.
Not many DC heroes.
I mean, they all did except for like Batman and Iron Man. They were the only two kind of like just pure humans.
My hero is not a drug user.
All right. Well, we'll get to that. Hold on to that. So you say 2.75 Bills. Okay. Canada F and dry. I will hand it over to you now. Go ahead and go.
My match tonight is the bunkhouse brawl. I'm giving the segment of Ruby Soho and Cool Hand Ange, the pregnancy announcement. I thought that was kind of cool. And my superhero, actually, let me do my rating first. I'm giving this a 3. And my superhero is the only superhero from the golden age to evolve. He's been Robin. He's been Nightwing. He's been Batman. Dick Grayson is the coolest superhero, and he's never done drugs.
That you know of.
That I know
of. Dick Grayson. That's an interesting choice, but a good one. I like that. All right. So for me, hell is frozen over, gentlemen, because I'm going to give this a higher score than the two of you.
Wow.
I'm giving it 3.25. Yeah. So I think this is the first time ever in my history here at Effin' Wrestling that I've given the highest rating.
I think so.
It has to be, because I'm usually historically the lowest rating. Sometimes JFB goes lower than me, but usually I'm the lowest because I'm tough to please. I'm a hard customer. What happened to Ric Flair after Revolution?
His contract only ran through Revolution.
Did it really?
He was literally only there just to do Sting's.
Yeah.
Well, Blue Energy's still there, so he must still be.
Well, that's a sponsor thing, though. That's not. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones paying his contract.
Yeah. Woo Energy is like AEW isn't paying Ric Flair. Woo Energy is.
Yeah. It's like the Slim Jim Randy Savage deal.
Yep.
Where they paid for his salary in WCW. Yeah.
I think we'll see Rick again.
I think so too, at some point. But yeah, 3.25 for me. Match of the night was the bunkhouse brawl. I think we're all unanimous about that. That was by far the best thing on the show. And if I have to choose a segment, I'm going to go with that pregnancy segment. Yeah, I mean, that had a lot of emotion to it. It was a good feel-good moment. So yeah, I'm going to go with that too. I'm matching Canada dry here with a better score to boot, mind you. So that's an unexpected plot twist here. And for the what was the favorite thing that we're doing again?
Superhero.
Superhero. Okay. Now, my favorite comic book growing up was X-Men, but that's a collective of heroes. I guess if I have to choose an individual hero, my favorite that I used to buy the books and read growing up was Spider-Man.
Oh.
So
Now, which Spider-Man you pick? You Peter Parker, or are you going with the new Miles Morales?
Peter Parker. I never got to Miles Morales.
Okay.
Now Peter Parker was absolutely my favorite Spider-Man. Because I read it pretty heavily back in the 90s. You know, him and Mary Jane were married. They had an apartment, and he was Spider-Man.
The 90s Spider-Man was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially with the Clone Wars, I thought the Clone Wars was really cool.
Yeah, the Scarlet Spider came in with the hoodie with the spider painted on it and all that shit.
Was
it was
cool. Is Ben Reilly the real one, or is
Peter
Parker like that? That was cool, but the ending kind of sucked.
And like my favorite limited series of all time was Maximum Carnage, which they made a video game based off of. Yeah. Which was absolutely fantastic. If you ever get a chance to.
Are you more of a Marvel guy or more of a DC guy?
I'm more of a Marvel guy.
And you're more of a Marvel guy too.
Yes.
Well, I have to hold the DC flag alone then, I guess.
You're the DC guy. Yeah. I did read some Batman and some Superman growing up, but I was primarily a Marvel guy. I was big into X-Men and Spider-Man. That was my two big ones.
Like that's with me. Like I never got into the comics just because there's too many and it's confusing as hell.
Right.
So like I tend to enjoy Marvel movies more than your average comic book guy who complains that it's not like the source material. Like, I don't understand why someone wants the movie to be just like a comic book. Go read the comic book if you want it.
I think the DC animation puts Marvel to shame.
I've always heard those.
I agree. I've always said Marvel movies are better than DC, but DC animated for the most part blows Marvel out of the water.
DC the animated series was awesome. Or excuse me, Batman the animated series back in the early 90s.
Batman was good.
They have some really good solo movies for DC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Flashpoint was phenomenal.
Yeah. You have Batman and Harley Quinn, and you have this sex scene between Harley Quinn and Nightwing. And Batman walks in and is like, "So what do you think?" And he's like, "What do you think I think?" Never mind. And like Harley Quinn farts in the Batmobile.
So Mr. Isaacs, who's your favorite X-Man?
My favorite X-Man was Gambit.
Yes, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So have you been watching X-Men 97?
I haven't got around to it yet.
Okay, I'm not going to say a word.
Yeah, because that was my. Yeah, don't spoil it for me. I'm gonna watch it. That was my favorite show. My favorite cartoon show growing up was the original X-Men show. So I'm definitely going to. I just hadn't said where I've been sick for a couple of weeks. I just hadn't got around to doing it yet.
Now my friend Justin comes over every week and he's like, "It's Wednesday. Put on X-Men 97." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
I'm definitely. I might even start watching it as soon as we close here.
Dude, it's
really good.
It is so good.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to dive into it because, like I said, that was my absolute favorite show. Like I was glued to the television at 11 a.m. Saturday morning when that show aired.
I will say that the character development in it is so much better than back then. Like they really focus on
I'm sure.
There's people who say that this X-Men 97 is the single best thing Marvel has ever done.
I've heard that.
I don't know if I agree with that, but it is up there with some of the stuff that
And if you're enjoying 420 Day, it's a good day to watch it because the colors are pretty.
We'll have to talk, Mr. Alex, we'll have to talk offline when you get caught up.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll check the episodes out and I'll touch base with you. We can chat.
My favorite X-Man, oddly enough, he's someone that doesn't get as much TV time is Iceman.
Ooh, Iceman.
I really like Iceman in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends in the 80s. It was Iceman. I think her name was Firehawk and Spider-Man.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember seeing some of that when I was a kid.
Yeah, was the girl named Firehawk? Is that what her name was?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I had to go back and look.
Firebird? I don't know, something like that.
There's so many X-Men minor Marvel characters.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked Iceman just gliding around on the ice and being like,
Noob's got it. It's Firestar.
Yeah, it's Firestar.
Yeah.
He was one of the characters you could use in Maximum Carnage to have her come down and fight Carnage.
Yeah, Maximum Carnage, there was a bunch of characters. You could have Venom come out, and they had that storyline. Yeah, they had a storyline in the comics, and you kind of repeat it in the game too, where they tried to find a way to kill Carnage, and the only thing that the symbiote suit has a weakness to is like high pitched sound
and fire.
They knew that Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four, had this sonic ray gun in their towers, and they were away on a mission. So Spider-Man and the heroes had to break into the Fantastic Four's headquarters and take the gun.
Yeah.
and in the game, Venom has that gun, and he'll jump out and shoot whoever's on screen if you use them as a special call action. Yeah.
And it turns out, if you just watch the movie, you just need to take them to a bell and ring it a couple times and you're fine.
Yeah. Which they did that in the comics too at some point.
There's a rumor right now going around that they're going to do a Spider-Man 4 movie with what's his name? The original
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Tobey Maguire is.
There's so many rumors. There's a Marvel Spider-Man 4 coming with Tom Holland that Sam Raimi is also attached to directing potentially.
The Spider-Man timeline of movies is just all over the place. It's
but it's okay if you have the Spider-Verse, you have all this.
There's 3 different lineages, technically 4 if you count the animated. There's 4 different movie lineages of Spider-Man now.
Are you including the Miles Morales animated one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one yet, but the first one was really good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Sony should just stick to doing animated MCU stuff because their live action stuff is garbage here.
The MCU went off the tracks for me. It did. I mean, after Endgame, I did watch WandaVision, and I thought it was pretty good.
Loki.
Yeah, they ended that really no second season that. I thought it was really popular.
Yeah, it was a good show. I enjoyed WandaVision. It was that. It was their first big pandemic era MCU series, and I remember, I was working from home all the time, and I would watch an episode on my lunch break.
The
at
thing
my
was,
house. So
the pandemic really screwed everything up because WandaVision wasn't supposed to come out when it did. It was supposed to be later, but other stuff got pushed back, so that got released first.
Right. But I thought it was a good show. I enjoyed it.
Oh, absolutely.
It was different.
Have you guys caught any of the Fallout yet?
No, but I want to because I love Fallout.
It is good.
I've started the first episode.
Yeah, it is the first episode doesn't do it justice, just so you know.
I was like, I imagine I have to get because I hear nothing but great things, but I'm like, this first episode is so boring.
It gets really intense.
I love the Fallout games. Absolutely love them. So I was kind of excited to see that Amazon was putting out a Fallout TV show.
And coming soon is the BioShock movie.
Oh, yeah. And Borderlands. They're making a Borderlands movie. Eli Roth is making one.
Oh, interesting.
There's a history of game to video game to movies not being good.
And The Last of Us Part 2 is coming out soon to HBO.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing
did you guys watch The Last of Us?
No, I don't have HBO. I don't have an HBO.
Oh, you guys got to stream that illegally because it is so good.
I've got my dad's Max account. I'll have to go in and check it out.
Yeah.
Look,
you got.
I imagine I'll be getting Max soon once AEW starts streaming on it. So
my dad, the original Big Bill that I joke about, we kind of had a deal where I gave him my Netflix and he gives me his Max.
There you go. But now they're
he watches my
down
Netflix
on password
all the time.
sharing.
Yeah,
I got the cheap ad Netflix because I wasn't able to steal my brother's Netflix anymore. So what I did is I changed my cell phone plan to cover the lower to cover the Netflix. So I was like, I'll get less of this, but I'll get more of this. So
see, my cell phone plan comes with Hulu. 'Cause it's like they all come with something now, right? Mine comes
really?
with Hulu. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we don't get those perks in Canada.
It's so weird. Like the whole initial thing was like, come to streaming, you won't have to pay extra money. And now it's just as expensive just to have cable.
You just gotta stack it up on top of each other, but at least it's a little more a la carte in the sense.
Yeah.
It's like you can get this bundle of programming, and then for extra $10, get this bundle of programming, and you still, when you piece it all together, I mean, if you don't just go crazy and get every single thing out there, it's still cheaper than YouTube TV that I pay for to watch wrestling and Kentucky basketball.
Damn Kentucky basketball.
I know. Sports and wrestling is the only thing that keeps me tied to the shit.
I am a big proponent of, like, if you live in this state, you should be able to watch the teams in your state. Like, I live in Maryland, and I have Dish Network. I cannot watch the Orioles games because Masson and Dish Network couldn't come to an agreement on a contract, which I think is stupid. It's the home team. I should be able to watch them.
Well, and for me, when it comes to the University of Kentucky basketball and football, I'll get the noobs comment in a minute, but they used to always air it on the local CBS affiliate here. Like, that's where all the SEC sports aired. But then when ESPN threw like $1 billion at the SEC and they created the SEC network, now it's all behind the ESPN paywall. So you can't watch them on free TV anymore. Like, UK games are all on ESPN now.
Yeah, like during football season, you get like the game of the week on CBS, and it's
all big money. It's all big money.
So they might be on CBS if they play football against Alabama.
Right.
Not against anybody else.
You only get one SEC game.
Everyone's getting money for these things except for the players.
Yeah, absolutely. So Noobs made a comment a second ago, says that the Knuckle show's in a week. I saw that's going to be on, which one is that? Paramount Plus? I think it was going to be on.
I got to tell you, I thought it was a game that they were advertising at WWE, but it's a Knuckles TV show.
Yeah, it's a Knuckles TV show. It's like a 6-episode TV show. It's like a spinoff of the movies, the Sonic movies.
I don't know if this is going to be good or not. Like, Knuckles doesn't have enough presence to have but then again, you had Cheers and you had Fraser. Like, he wouldn't seem that he was good enough to have his own show.
And he was. Fraser was fantastic.
Speaking of,
but on Cheers, he wasn't a main character.
No, he sucked on Cheers.
Speaking of Paramount, New York Times reported the other day that apparently Sony is interested in buying Paramount.
That would be huge. I don't know if that would. Do you think that would go through? Do you think that'd be approved?
I don't know. I think if it was, I think it would probably be one of those things like they did with Disney when they bought out Fox, to say some of this you need to spin off into its own thing.
Yeah. Kind of like how what is it? Like Fox Movies is like a different company than like the Fox Network or something like that.
Yeah, like Fox News is different than the movie section. And
I'll tell you what, Paramount Plus will get really good if they have Sony.
Yeah,
because they'll have a lot of other shit to put on there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they'll expand quite a bit.
So also, you know what else I heard? Disney Plus is thinking of adding on live TV.
Really?
Yep.
I wonder what
think
they
they're following the Netflix model, because Netflix has been advertising I guess some comedians going on live as well.
Yeah, they did a like a Chris Rock live special a couple years back. That was like the first live thing that they've done. They've had a couple of comedy specials, and then of course,
who's that Jerry Seinfeld knockoff? What's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you did the lunchbox special.
What's that guy's name?
Rehab guy.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Yeah, he's got a live show coming up here on Netflix.
Yeah. And of course, they've got the big Tyson and Paul fight that they're going to air.
This is all getting ready for the big WWE shows.
Yeah.
Like, I think eventually America will be like the rest of the world, and everything the WWE will just be on Netflix.
I just find it funny that when WWE goes to Netflix in January, Netflix came out and said, starting in January, we're not going to be reporting subscriber numbers anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, that's kind of weird.
Why is that?
Because they said they're going to focus more on like watch time. They said that's their metric now of what success is, people watching. They don't care how many subscribers they have.
That doesn't make sense. The subscribers equals dollars.
Yeah, well.
It's Netflix for you. I don't know.
I think they're just saying that. I think that's just most service.
Maybe they don't want to report the number because it fluctuates their.
Yeah, they don't want to report it. They're just going to report the watches. They obviously care about subscribers.
Be like, this show had 10 million watch minutes.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see Raw on Netflix. I hope they let the F-bomb be on the show. I think that they will. Because that's just going to be something that, we've seen that on like ECW pay-per-views, but we haven't seen it like anywhere else in mainstream wrestling before. So I think that'd be kind of cool.
For the rest of the world, you get the ad Netflix, like the one with the ads, because for $5.99, you're going to get commercials regardless.
Yeah.
So you might as well get the cheapest version. And the rest of the world, you're getting pay-per-views for $5.99 a month. That's such a great deal. Plus, you're getting all the other stuff. That's
like us with Peacock right now.
Yeah.
You get the WWE pay-per-views for $5.99.
Yeah, not a bad deal at all. Plus, you get a bunch of old movies and stuff. Yeah,
you're gonna have to get that to be able to watch Raw.
Yeah, so it's interesting. We're moving in. Well, we already are there, but we're working on getting wrestling and sports away from the cable packages, and then they're just going to die entirely. Like, and we're just going to have these streaming.
I will admit, it is very interesting how WWE is always on like the forefront of change when it comes to how their product is consumed.
They are. The WWE Network was like the first of its kind. I mean, it was before UFC Fight Pass. It was before.
Even pay-per-views. They were the first to really do this.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, they own at least they used to. I don't know if they still do. They owned the domain payperview.com.
Cool.
Like if you type in payperview.com, it takes you to WWE's website.
Let's see.
At least it did.
No, there is a site that actually is payperview.com that does let you order shit right now.
Yeah. So I know that was a thing. I don't know if it still is, but that was a thing a few years ago because I remember doing it.
Yeah, there's an actual site that they were showing on AEW tonight that you could order from called that.
Payperview.com still goes to WWE.com.
Oh, not PPV.com.
Yeah, PPV is different.
Yeah.
That's different.
But specifically, payperview.com takes you to WWE.com/WWE Network.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, WWE owns the domain payperview.com.
So officially after this year, the WWE Network is dead.
No, I think
because in the US, WWE still has a contract with Peacock through like 2025 or 2026.
Yeah.
Still a few more years before the
network. But that's not the network.
Yes, it is. It's the WWE.
No, you're not understanding me. The network is still in other countries all over. The original network.
Yeah, the original WWE network is still international to the other countries.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that network that they introduced originally,
the standalone,
is going to be dead after it goes to Netflix.
I think so, because I think they are moving all that stuff to Netflix internationally.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I read that. So, all right, gentlemen. I think that's an hour and 18 minutes in, and it's almost 12:30. I think it's time to wrap this up. What say you, Canada? Do you want to do some closing festivities here for us?
How about we sing "Oh Canada"?
Go ahead, be my guest.
No, I'm just kidding. On behalf of the effing expert, let me get this outro ready because I'm never quite ready.
I think I know the first 7 words of "Oh Canada."
Only the first 7?
I think it's like "Oh Canada, our home and native land."
Yeah.
That's all I know.
That's all I know too.
There was once a CFL game in Vegas, and they sang "Oh Canada" to "Oh Christmas Tree." I don't know how it goes. It's probably the same as old Christmas.
That's hilarious.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. So, anyways, on behalf of the F and expert, Mr. Isaacs, on behalf of EVP Joe, and on behalf of myself, Canada F and Dry, I just want to wish you a good night. And remember, if you're struggling with anything, it's okay to be down. It's not okay to stay down. You need to reach out to your friends. You need to reach out to family. You need to reach out to anyone who will listen to you. Reach out to one of us. We'll hear you. Raise your fist in the air. Just lock the devil in the sharpshooter and just keep fighting.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.